Okay, expressions with rational exponents. Okay, number 1. So we have 2 raised to the power of 1/3. For radicals, this is the index and this is the exponent for radicand. So that is cube root of 2 raised to 1, or that is simply the cube root of 2. For number 2, okay, 4 raised to the power of 4/5. We can write this 4 as 2 raised to 2. 2 raised to 2, and it's power of 4/5. So that is 2 raised to power of, okay, multiply the exponent. 2 times 4, that is 8/5. So change this to radical, so that is the 5th root of 2 raised to 8, or that is equal to the 5th root of 2 raised to 5 times 2 raised to 3. So the answer is the 2 times the 5th root of 2 raised to 3, or that is equal to 2 times the 5th root of 2 times 2 for this one is 8. For number 3, 9 raised to 5. Number 4, 7, so that is 3 raised to 3, and raised to power of 5/3 is equal to 1. So we have the answer is 3, okay, raised to 5. Okay, for number 5, that is uh, the 5th root of 79 squared. Okay, number 6, 5 raised to 5/3. So the answer is the cube root of 5 raised to 5. For number 7, so that is the 5th root of 2x squared. Okay, for number 8. Okay, for number 8, the problem is 12m raised to power of 3/5. So since my exponent dito is only m, so labas po dito si 12. So that is 12 times the 5th root of m is to 3. Okay, number 9. So that is x raised to 1/2, y raised to 3/2. The answer is the square root of x and y cubed. 10. Okay, negative 27, that is negative 3 raised to 3 raised to 1/3. Then multiply the exponent, so that is negative 3 raised to 3 over 3, or that is equal to negative 3. Laws of radicals. Number 1, the nth root of a raised to the power of n, that is equal to a. Okay, examples. A, the cube root of 5 raised to 3. So we can change this expression from radical to exponential. The cube root of 5, that is 5 raised to 1/3 time and raised to 3. Okay, next, multiply the exponent. So we have 5, 1 times 3 over 3. So that is 3 over 3. So that is equal to 5 raised to, divide 3 divided by 3, that is equal to 1. So simply 5. Okay, for B, the square root of 81. So that is the square root of 9 squared. That is equal to 9 squared raised to 1/2 equals 9 raised to 2 over 2. So that is equal to 9 raised to 1, or simply equal to 9. Okay, for C, we have 40 raised to 1/4 raised to 4. So that is 40 raised to 4 over 4 is equal to 40 raised to 1, or simply that is equal to 40. Okay, for letter D, that is 11 over 5 raised to 1/5 and raised to 5. So that is equal to 11 over 5 raised to 5 over 5 is equal to 11 over 5 raised to 1, or that is equal to 11 over 5. So this one is 5 raised to 1 over 7 raised to 7. So that is equal to 5 raised to 7 over 7. So that is equal to 5 raised to 1. So that is equal to 5. Laws of radicals number 2. For the nth root of AB is equal to the nth root of A times the nth root of B. Examples. Okay, letter A, the square root of 50. So we can write this 50 as, or we can factor this 50. So that is the square root of 25 times the square root of 2. So the square root of 25 is 5. So 5 times the square root of 2. Okay, for B, the cube root of 24. So that is the cube root of 8 times 3, or that is the cube root of 8 times the cube root of 3. Then the cube root of 8 is 2 times the cube root of 3. Okay, but you see, we have the square root of 2x cube y cube 2x y times x squared y squared, or that is the square root of 2xy times the square root of x squared y squared. So square root of x squared is x and the square root of y squared is y, so that is x y times the square root of 2xy. Letter D, the square root of 242 x cubed, so that is the square root of 121 x squared times 2x, or that is the square root of 121 x squared times the square root of 2x. Then the square root of 121x squared, that is 11x times the square root of 2x. Letter E, okay, 48, so that is the fourth root of 16, A is to 4, B is to 4 times the fourth root of 3 A B. For 3, the nth root of A over B equals the nth root of A over the nth root of B, where B is greater than 0. Examples for A, we have the cube root of negative 64 over x raised to 6. Yeah, okay, so that is the cube root of negative 4 raised to 3 over the cube root of x squared raised to 3. Okay, simplify. So the cube root of negative 4 raised to 3. So from radical to exponential, that is negative 4 raised to 3 and raised to 1/3 over x squared raised to 3 and raised to 1/3. Then multiply exponent to exponent, so that is negative 4 raised to 3 over 3. This one, you have x squared raised to 3 over 3, so that is 3 divided by 3, that is 1. So negative 4 is to 1, that is simply negative 4. Then x squared. Okay, for B, we have the square root of x raised to 12 and raised to 2 over the square root of 3 squared. So change to exponential. That is x raised to 12 raised to 2 and raised to 1 half, okay, over 3 squared raised to 1 half equals, okay, multiply, that is x raised to 12 raised to 2 over 2, then 3 raised to 2 over 2, okay, divide, so that is x raised to 12 over 3, 4. So the nth root of a equals the mn root of a equals the nth root of nth root of a. Okay, examples. Okay, we have the 6th root of 4, so we can write this 6 as the cube root of the square root of 4, or that is the cube root of the square root of 2 raised to 2 equals, okay, the square root of 2 raised to 2 is equal to 2. So therefore, the answer is the cube root of 2. Okay, for B, the cube root of the square root of 27. The cube root of the square root of 27. So, since 27 is not a perfect square, but a perfect cube number, 27. So, change this to the square root of and the cube root of 27, because the cube root of 27 is equal to 3. So the square root of the cube root of 27, we can write that as 3 raised to 3. So that is equal to the square root of 3. Next, the 8th root of 16. So the square root of the 4th root of 16. So that is the square root of the 4th root of 16. That is 2 raised to 4. So the 4th root of 2 raised to 4 is equal to 2. So therefore the answer is the square root of. Rationalizing the denominator of the radicand. Rationalization is the process of removing the radical sign in the denominator. To rationalize the denominator, multiply the numerator and denominator of the radicand by the expression of the lowest power that will convert the denominator into a perfect square. Examples, number 1. Simplify the square root of 3 over 5 by making the radicand integral. The solution. The square root of 3 over 5 equals, so the square root of 3 over 5 times, or multiply the radicand by 5 over 5 to make the denominator a perfect square. We have 5 over 5. So equals 3 times 5, that is 15, over 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, the square root of 15 over 25. So we have the square root of 15 over 5, because the square root of 25 is 5, or that is 1/5 times the square root of 15. Okay, example number 2. Simplify 10x times the square root of x squared over 12. Assume that x is greater than 0. The solution: 10x square root of x squared over 12 is equal to, so all you have to do is to multiply the radicand by 3 over 3 to make the denominator a perfect square. So 3 over 3, then 10x, okay, multiply, that is 3x squared. 12 times 3, 36. Okay, 10x, okay, times the square root of 3x squared, since x is a perfect square number, so that is x times the square root of 3 over the square root of 36, that is 6. Then factor, so this one factor by 2, so that is 5. This one is 3. So we have 5 times uh, x times x, that is x squared, and the square root of 3 over 3, or 5x squared over 3 times the square root of 3. Okay, examples number 3. Simplify the square root of 3x over 8y cubed. Okay, solution: the square root of 3x over 8y cubed is equal to 3x over 8y cubed times the square root of, okay, to make this denominator a perfect square number, so we're going to multiply this 8 by 2y. So we have 2y over 2y equals, okay, multiply, that is 6xy over 8 times 2, that is 16, y cubed times y, that is y raised to 4. Okay, there. Okay, equals, that is the square root of 6xy over square root of 16, that is 4. Then the square root of y raised to 4 is y squared, or that is 1 over 4y squared times the square root of 6xy. Simplify the following radical equations. Assume that the variables are positive. Okay, the square root of 20, that is the square root of 4 times 5. That is 2, the square root of 5. The square root of 147, that is the square root of 39 times 3. That is 7, the square root of 3. Number 3, the cube root of 375, that is the cube root of 125 times 3, that is 5 times the cube root of 3. Number 4, square root of 4x squared y cubed, that is 4, that is 2 x y and the square root of y. This one, b raised to 4 over 11 times square root of 11, that is equal to 11 b raised to 4 over 121, that is equal to b squared square root of 11 over